Former Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, retired Rear Admiral Dr. Gary Best, believes urgent constitutional changes are needed to safeguard the rights of Guyanese and simultaneously curtail the rights of migrants amid growing threats from neighboring Venezuela and an increasing migrant population. In an interview on Sources that will air on Sunday on this platform, Dr. Best said the Guyana government has a duty to keep its citizens safe and must do all in its power to safeguard the country's sovereignty. He made a case for the number of Venezuelan economic migrants entering the country to be capped, a recommendation he first put forward back in 2023. Back then, he urged the government to put an immediate cap on Venezuelan migrants, while the country's defense and security forces conduct internal vetting to identify and separate those with verified family ties to Guyanese from those who are economic migrants and refugees. Dr. Best said the recommendation is as relevant today as it was back then.
Let's process them centrally. Let the people see we are processing them. And therefore we identify those who are migrants, economic migrants, and those who are refugees, and those who do not fit the bill. Because if you're young between, I'd say, 21, 18, and 30, I have to look at you very carefully. Because in many of those countries, they have conscription, which means you have military service, mandatory 1 year or 2 year military service. You may be an economic migrant, but we have that service before you, and then you could be led into an activity in the country that is taking care of you against the nation state. So I believe the government dropped the ball big time in this.
The former Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force said Venezuela remains a clear and present danger to Guyana's national patrimony, and he has no doubt that the Nicolas Maduro administration in Venezuela has agents in the country. In the lead-up to Venezuela's sham elections in May of 2025 to appoint a governor for Guyana's Essequibo region, Guyana's then Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson Ben, said that there were sleeper agents in the country. But months later, and in the wake of the recent bombing at the fuel station on Regent Street, the government has been silent on the issue of sleeper agents in the country. Dr. Best said a statement by the former Home Affairs Minister was likely based on intelligence received, and the government should have heeded the recommendation for Venezuelan migrants in the country to be thoroughly vetted. Instead, he believes the government dropped the ball and exposed Guyanese to attacks. In wake of that gas station bomb attack, the government has announced a number of measures, including the rollout of an EID system to capture migrants in the country. Just yesterday, Vice President Barra Jagdeo said the government is actively considering new laws, which when passed will curtail some of the rights and privileges of migrants.
You can have a population, and migrant population is greater than your population, but you have to have significant safeguards. For example, in Dubai. In Dubai, those safeguards include one, you don't have the right to vote. That's the first one. So we can have, if the population has to go greater than our national population for the purposes of developing all the sectors as we transition to a better country, we have to amend the constitution. I would say we have to amend the constitution and say, yes, you have no right to vote. Your rights to vote can come after second generation or third generation. Because this is a country, in particular for Venezuela, that is challenging Guyana. Every single Venezuelan believes Essequibo belongs to Guyana, including a Venezuelan that was born of a Guyanese. Because you're Venezuelan, you're born from Guyanese parents. You're taught that in school.
Dr. Best said land and other rights will also need to be examined. Vice President Jagdeo said the government intends to hold consultations on the rights it is prepared to accord people who come to Guyana, given that the country must be preserved for Guyanese.